Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marky Picks. And today marks the start of our 2026 SEC preview series. If you guys are finding this video for the first time, go check out our ACC and Big 12 previews. We just covered both of those conferences in depth, gave every single one of their teams their individual video where we broke down their schedule predictions for the 2026 season. And we also went through and got our final standing predictions for those conferences, crowned our champions and stuff like that. And the next conference up here, we got the SEC. Now, this is going to be the start of what is probably going to be some hot discussions, hot takes. These next two conferences, SEC, Big Ten, because these are the two conferences that really dominate college football. And there's going to be lots of hot takes from both of us, I'm sure. So I can't wait to show them off with you guys. Some of you guys are probably going to piss off. Some other guys, you're probably going to agree with us. It's just the way it is. But, I have my stands. Deshawn has his stands. I'm sure you guys definitely have your own stands. But, I'm willing to go out on some crazy takes. And, we're all innocent until we're proven guilty as these games will get underway. And I'm willing to go out and admit if I'm wrong on some of these. If I get a team wrong, I'm willing to go out there and admit that I was wrong about that team. If I get them right, I'll be like, hey, I told you so. Something like that. But this is going to be the start of some of those, discussions that maybe will get you a little upset, but that's just what this sport's all about. Everybody has their own stands. Everybody has their own teams that they really like to root for. And, this is just the start of it. So we're going to get to the introduction here for the SEC. Looking here at the conference overview, the defending champions from last year is the Georgia Bulldogs. Some of the big storylines, you got Lane Kiffin, high stakes debut at LSU. All eyes will be on him as he transitions to a really other rival in Ole Miss in conference. So that's going to be something to look at. Another guy, Arch Manning's Heisman campaign at Texas. That so overhyped first year at Texas didn't really go as planned for him, but later in that year last year, he actually started playing a lot better. And I think that carries over here into year two for him. I think he plays a lot better this year at Texas. Should be right near the top of this thing. Also, the move to a demanding 9-game conference schedule, I think, is going to be huge in this conference. These teams are going to continue to beat each other up, going to a 9-game conference schedule. Another thing to look forward to here this season. Also, some top players to watch. Arch Manning, like we just said, Sam Leavitt coming over from Arizona State to LSU. Big storyline there. Gunner Stockton coming back to Georgia, bringing that continued stability with Kirby Smart. And, of course, Trinidad Chambliss come back to Ole Miss, another year of eligibility for him. So I'm going to bring Deshawn in, let him say a little bit here about the 2026 SEC conference overview.
Yeah, definitely cannot wait for the SEC this year, man. It's going to be a bloodbath this year. There's so many good teams, and especially going to that 9-game conference schedule. I mean, you just got to feel bad for like the lower tier teams. You got to feel bad. They're just going to get beat up on and stuff. And this may be like a 5-6 bid league at minimum because of just the depth that the SEC has. Now, don't get me wrong. The Big Ten rules college football. Let's not forget that. Nope. The Big Ten rule it. Simple as that. We're better. Go argue with a wall. I don't care. But, yeah, definitely excited for some of the things. Arch Manning, I'm very bullish on him, but I think he's pretty good, even though this year he's not going to win the Heisman. That's not a hot take. Dante Moore is. Y'all already know. Y'all already know how I feel about that. Come on.
Wow.
I said Dante Moore is going to win the Heisman.
Wow.
Arch Manning, he will be in New York. I will say that. Arch Manning will be in New York. He will not win it, though. Lane Kiffin, I do think he will do some good things at LSU. But Ole Miss is going to be really, really good, too. So left a situation for a decent situation. They're both going to be pretty good. And like I said, the conference schedule is going to help out a bunch of these upper echelon teams in SEC. And that's pretty much what you're going to see. These top tier teams are going to finish top tier, like 2 loss, maybe some 3 at minimum. But all of them are going to be competing for college football playoff spots. and SEC title spot. So I can't wait for it.
Yeah, there's just so many storylines with really every single one of these SEC teams. And that's why we're splitting these up into their own individual previews. So make sure you guys stay on the lookout. If we get to your favorite team, it'll be coming up very, very soon here as we crack down the SEC and Big Ten. But yeah, tons of storylines and other things that you could see. You're going to see a lot throughout these previews in the SEC is that a lot of these players actually transferred to other SEC schools. So that's going to be something to watch out for as well. You know, former players playing its former teams, stuff like that. You're going to see that a lot throughout the SEC and the Big Ten. But yeah, it's going to be lots of storylines here. But before we get to those previews here, we're going to look at the standings here from last year, just real quick, finishing up this overview. As you guys can see, you know, there's a lot of double-digit win heavyweights in this conference. And I think that could be more the same as you saw last year. There was 6 or 7 double-digit win teams in the SEC. And I mean, you know, that's just the way it is in this conference. It seems to be a lot of good teams that tends to destroy up on these little teams here. You got Arkansas, South Carolina, Mississippi State, you know, probably going to be near the bottom again, although we'll get to these previews. I got some sleeper teams because teams like Auburn, South Carolina, I go out and say it right now, I think they're sleeping on them a little bit. But, you know, we're going to get to the previews. Deshawn, you want to say anything here?
Yeah, and, I mean, if you're looking at all of those double-digit win teams, that's 7 of them. 7. That's insane. But if you look at it, how many of these teams made the college football playoff? You had Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Georgia. What, only 5 of them made it? And 2 left out. I don't think Texas was left out and Vandy was left out. So that just shows you just how deep this league is. And even with that, I mean, look at Missouri, 8-5, Tennessee, 8-5, LSU, 7-6. I mean, just insane. A bunch of bowl teams as well. I think you're going to see the same exact thing. Now, like I said, there will be some sleepers in here. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say some Auburn and South Carolina. But, you know, you might still have the occasional few like Missouri and maybe Tennessee fighting for maybe, if they can pull off a few upsets, can maybe compete for the playoff.
All right, so that's going to wrap up this SEC intro video. We're going to move on to the individual SEC team previews right after this, so make sure you guys stay tuned here. Dedicated playlist on the channel right now for you guys to go through and easily follow each one of these videos so you guys don't miss it. So that's going to wrap up the SEC intro video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the individual team previews.